It's the book of Alpharonomy, nigga. Read it or weep.
We always say that her most valuable commodity, her most valuable asset, the thing she offers that has the most value to us as men is her body and her willingness to present it to us in a submissive manner for our own pleasure. And also her willingness to do everything she can to enhance that pleasure, to bring us to the greatest ecstasy that a man could ever feel in life. Now, by the same token, there are other things that she possesses that she thinks have value, and they do have value to her. They may even have value to the society. And I always say that those things don't matter to us. In the large scheme of things, they don't. On the surface, her education is her education. On the surface, her money is her money. On the surface, her connections are her connections. On the surface, her family is her family. But when you apply alpha level pimp game to her possessions, to her other characteristics, you start to see that those things can benefit you tremendously. Her connections can become your connections, therefore putting your business or whatever your endeavors are on the next level simply because you know her, you own her, you control her, and her connections become your connections. Let's say you have a business venture that you need to really pretty much dump the majority of your income into in order for it to be successful. You are confident in it and you are taking a risk, but it is a calculated risk, but a risk nonetheless. Her income becomes your income. If you control her, if you control her mind, if you own her, if you run her, if you manipulate her however you want to, if she submits to you, then everything that is hers is yours. So her income benefits your process. I say all of this to say this, man. Her sex is an amazing thing. Whatever intimacy she gives you is an amazing thing if she gives it to you in a submissive manner, as if she is willing and able to give you whatever it is you need intimately. But it is not the most significant thing she has to offer when you control her. You see, if you don't control her, then all of those other things are hers. You don't have any access to them. But if you do control her, then everything that is hers is yours. And everything that is yours, you share with her. That is my motto. Now, I will say this. In this scenario, you cannot be what I like to call a coochie hound. You cannot be a man who cannot resist the temptation of her body. You cannot be a man who pursues her just for her body. Listen, if a woman can only offer me sex and nothing else, I simply don't want it. If that is all she has to offer, I am not amused, I am not aroused, I am not enthused. She has to be bringing more to the table than that. It doesn't matter. I can't even view her as a beauty queen if she only has that to offer. I don't care what her credentials are. I don't care what her potential is. All I care about is what she can offer me at that particular time. You see, as I tell you guys all the time, man, I was raised by pimps. Pimps think money first, honey later. I don't put the honey before the money. That's beta. You can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but if you put the honey before the money, you're Trick. You're John. Live your life, John. That's no problem. I'm not saying you're not a man. I'm saying that when it comes to dealing with women, you're a John. That's how they view you. If a woman views you as a financial benefit, you're John. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is this, man. I will not engage with a woman who can offer me nothing but sex. All of the other things she can offer, I am the type of man who can control her, manipulate those things, and ingratiate myself to those things, where those things want to be mine, where her education wants to benefit me, where her finances want to benefit me, where her connections want to benefit me, where her family bond wants to benefit me. Everything that's hers can benefit me if I control her. The bottom line is the majority of men out here cannot control women. You cannot even get the woman to have sex with you. You understand what I'm saying? Man, let me tell you something. While you are waiting to see if the woman is going to have sex with you, the woman is waiting to see if I'm going to have sex with her. You know why? Because I control the dynamic by not being a coochie hound, by not being the type of man that can be led around by the promise of sex from a woman. That's no promise to me. She's benefiting from sex with me. I'm not benefiting. It benefits her way more than it benefits me to engage in intimacy with me, because I'm going to give her something that she ain't never had before. I'm going to put it on her in a way that nobody's ever put it on her before. I'm going to give her something raw, homie. Now, I don't mean I'm not going to strap up. I mean, I'm going to give her something raw and rugged. So, with that in mind, I can never view that as the most valuable thing that she has if she has other credentials. The problem is, if a woman only has that to offer, that's not valuable to me. It is the only thing of value that she has to offer. But that's not saying it's the most valuable thing. That's not saying it has high value. It's just saying that she has nothing else that has any value. And I, for one, am never, and quote me on this, I am never going to indulge myself or indulge the fantasy of a woman who has nothing to offer me but what's between her legs. Because who knows? I might not even enjoy that. I'm going to rank her against the best I've had. That's just what I do. I rank them against the best I've had. And I've had some good ones, homie. I've had some good ones. I've had some ones, man, where I've gone to their crib and pulled in their 4-car garage and they laid it out for me. They treat me the way that a king needs to be treated, that a king wants to be treated, that a king is supposed to be treated, that a king has to be treated. And see, if you never had this treatment from a woman, you see, the problem is the treatment that I get from women, you can only get it if you're in a relationship. You got to promise her shit. You got to promise her, fidelity. You got to promise her monogamy. You got to promise her commitment. You got to promise her all that. I don't have to promise her nothing, because just to feel my energy in close quarters, she's going to have to treat me that way. So while you got to marry a woman or be in a relationship with her to get her to give you a massage, cook you a meal, love on you in the greatest way she can to bring you to the most phenomenal ecstasy you could ever feel in your life, and she listens. You tell her don't eat that, she doesn't eat that. This is the difference between the alpha. This is the difference between the pimp and the simp, the beta, the lame, the average man. She views me as a god. She views you as a dude. And she sees how she can benefit from you, because you can't guide her. You can't give her that God instinct. You can't give her that delivery of that spiritual entity that she wants to follow. So she doesn't follow you. She leeches off you. She leads you with the promise of having something that she wanted to give me the first time she saw me. And she's wondering why I am not rushing to it like you do. I'll tell you why. Because I'm alpha and your ass is beta. You don't have to own it. Call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. Call yourself alpha. Call yourself pimp. Call yourself Mac. Call yourself macaroni Tony. Call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. But nigga, when you look in the dictionary, words have meaning. And I'm the alpha done daughter. So when I tell you what alpha means, if your ass don't fit the bill, you ain't alpha. Play the role all you want to, man. Hollywood loves great actors. But the bottom line is, the things that you have to chase and date and wine and dine and cry and whine and call and text to get are the things that she's throwing at me, because I'm in her head making her wonder, is she fine or not? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with her? Something's wrong, because I'm not chasing her the way you do. And you know what that does? It makes her view me as a man unlike any other. And we know women shop till they drop. Women cop rocks. Women want to go buy drops simply because when it is new and unknown, she is weak for it. And homie, why you just more of the same, maybe with a little more game, maybe with a little more money, a little more fame, I'm something she's never met before. And that in itself makes me the women's pet, the men's regret.
Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this real shit. And as always, alpha's up, beta's down. Peace.